A warm good evening, everyone. Today, my topic is finite element method based analysis of linear motor. So, sir, I cannot proceed to the next slide.
No, swipe it right.
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah. So, this is the content part, the topics which I'm going to discuss in the further slides. So, I'm not able to. Okay. So, this is the introduction part. So, what is a linear motor? A linear motor is similar to induction motor, but it is typically designed to produce motion in a straight line. In linear induction motor, we get a finite primary or secondary length which generates N effects, whereas a conventional induction motor is arranged in an endless loop. So the stator is cut axially and spread out flat. So in this type of motor, the stator and rotor are called to be as primary and secondary respectively. The stator of the conductor of a linear induction motor consists of a flat aluminum conductor with ferromagnetic core, which with the example figure 1, you can see where a linear motor is being straightened up from a rotatory motor. So the next slide deals with the types of the linear induction motor. So a linear AC motor can be divided as linear induction motor and linear synchronous motor. And linear induction motor can be subdivided as single-sided linear induction motor and double-sided linear induction motor. And linear synchronous motor can be divided as short primary LSM and long primary LSM. So the main similarity between LIM and LSM is that both of them are such type of motor that generates magnetic field. In both cases, the object has some sort of plate for the magnetic field to either repel or to attract. And in case of single-sided and double-sided linear induction motor, we obtain that the difference is that the single-sided linear induction motor, there will be a single primary part, and for double-sided linear induction motor, we will get double primary part. So my next slide is of the objective what I'm going to calculate. So here I'm going to calculate the current density, the flux density, and the forces that are being experienced by the linear motor. So by moving forward, uh, okay, in this slide, I am going to discuss about the principle of operation. So how a linear motor works. So the principle of linear motor is similar to that of the induction motor. But in case of induction motor, we obtain a rotating magnetic field. But here we will get a traveling magnetic field. So when a primary of LIM get excited by a balanced three-phase supply, a flux start traveling along the entire length of the primary. This linearly traveling magnetic field is equivalent to the rotating magnetic field, as I have told before. The electric current which get induced in the rotor of the secondary due to relative motion between the traveling flux and the conductor, we get a electric current, and then this induced current interacts with the traveling flux wave to produce a linear force or thrust. So the forces that are being experienced by LIM is being discussed in the next slide. So the forces are thrust or propulsion force, lateral force or levitation force, guidance force or normal force. So these are being perpendicular with each other. If thrust is acting along x direction, then lateral and guidance force will be acting along y and z direction. And these forces are being given in an example where you can see forces acting on a maglev train. So the forces are being explained in detail in the next slides. So first is the thrust or propulsion force. This force actually gives motion to the system, or the and also the formula is given as the air gap power divided by the speed of the rotor. And next is the lateral force or levitation force. So this force always acts perpendicular to the movement of the rotor. It makes a system unstable because when they are provided with a high frequency operation in the system, with a small displacement, we will get a very small lateral force. So the next slide is of the normal force or guidance force. So this is a force which is obtained between the primary or secondary because of the asymmetrical topology of the primary and secondary part. at synchronous speed, it behaves to be as attractive force, and at other certain speeds, it behaves to be as repulsive because of the high frequency operation. So next slide is about the FEM based analysis. So before further going with the example, let us know what is FEM. So it is a most widely used method for solving problems which deals with the areas such as fluid flow or heat transfer or electromagnetic potential, etc. The FEM is a particular numerical method that gives us to solve partial differential equation in both two or three space variables. So here I have considered a current carrying coil, and a dimensional length of the iron slug will be varied, and the force on the slug will be observed. First, I have started with the assigning the materials. Like for the coil I have assigned the material copper, and for the slug I have assigned the material steel. Now we need to introduce a design variable. Like if a object is moved, and its move distance can be assigned a variable, so this can be assigned by assigning the design properties. So then the current are being inserted, force are being inserted, and further I obtain a graph where it's been given in the next slide. So in this slide, you can see the variation of flow force versus slug height. So with the increase in height of the slug, we can see the force that is experienced by the slug will be reduced. So, and in the next slide, I have considered one more example where I have taken a magnet and a steel plate where the force is being calculated. So for that, the optimization obtained the desired force is required to be as 0.25 just by varying the air gap between the plate and the magnet. So this can be done simply by using a local variable. First, assigning the material to the steel plate and magnet, I proceeded by giving the changing the magnetizing direction from X to Y, Z direction, and further proceeding, and I obtained a graph where we can see that the force versus distance shifted graph is given. So if the distance between the magnet and the plate is been differ, means if it is increased or decreased, the force is also changed. Like if the distance has been increased, then the force experience will be lesser. So next slide is about the analysis of single-sided induction motor. So the analysis of SLIM is rendered difficult due to open air gap of the machine, and the latter which give rise to cause longitudinal effects and transverse edge effects. And in order to simplify this analysis, first I considered an SLIM without end effects considered in longitudinal or in transverse direction. In the figure 6.1, you can see a coordinate system being fixed to the rotor, and the origin is lying just above the stator surface. The rotor sheet, which has been used here, is a non-magnetic material such as aluminium. So as a thickness of the rotor is very minimal here, so we obtain two regions. That is a region between the stator surface and rotor, and a region from the rotor surface till infinity. And also the distance between the rotor surface and stator is taken to be h in y direction. So now I need to calculate the fields that are being experienced in two regions, and currents and the forces that are being experienced. So next slide, you can see the formulation of the fields and currents. So here first, by taking the references from Waite and Wooden, the stator winding are being modeled as an imaginary set of distributing phase winding, which have been taken in two phases, that is phase A and phase B. With that, the specification of the stator subphase current is being taken in each phases, and I get two current, that is IA and IB for phase A and phase B. Now by multiplying that value of the current that is flowing in the direction of the winding into the current which have been taken in both the phases, I get the equivalent stator current sheet equation, which is given by Zz equal to Z naught e to the power j as omega s t minus kx. So Z naught is the peak value of the linear current density of the stator winding. S is the slip, and k is the wave number, which is given as pi by tau, where tau is the pole pitch. and omega s is the supply frequency in radian per second. So now applying the Laplace equation in both the region, I have calculated the vector potential for region 1 and region 2, and which is given here. And the next slide is about boundary conditions. Like I've first considering the region 2, as it is extended till infinity, we can see the positive direction of the y-axis will be vanished at y equal to infinity. So the coefficient, that is c3, will be vanished. Like so only the negative part of the y direction will be obtained here. And again applying the boundary condition on the surface of the rotor sheet, you can see by taking the curl of a of the vector potential, I obtained the final value. And again for this interface of the region 1 and 2, again by applying the boundary conditions for the normal components of flux density, which is continuous, I obtained this equation of 2a. Then after that, again I have considered a rectangular contour as it is given in figure 6.1. You can see a rectangular contour has been taken in x and y plane, which is enclosing a section of the rotor sheet. And taking the line integral of h, I get the value, that is x bottom minus x top equal to JZR, where hx bottom and top are the tangential components of the magnetic field intensity, and JZR is the linear rotor current density. So the next slide is about calculating the flux density and current density. So by considering the longitudinal component of the flux density, that is Bxr in the rotor sheet, which is not uniform, and then by taking the value of hx bottom and top of the rotor, which is differ by a finite quantity, which is equal to the current enclosed by the rotor sheet. So therefore we get that Bxr is considered to be the average value for the bottom and the top surface, and which is given in this formula. And now by putting the value of hx and h top, we get the final equation. After that, again the normal component of the flux density is being calculated for the interface of region 1 and 2, and a further equation is being obtained. Now by just putting the value of vector potential in the equation of current density, I obtained a final equation for ZZR. So the next slide is of calculation of the forces. So we know the formula from which F equal to Z into B. We can calculate the formula for the levitation and as well as propulsion force. So by taking the real part of the linear current density and magnetic flux density, I can calculate the value of levitation force, which is taken to be the average value of it. And then by calculating the propulsion force, which is taken to be the average value of the real part of linear current density and magnetic flux density, then further graphs are being obtained. So this is the graph where I have plotted the normalized propulsion force versus normalized speed curve. So here you can see that this curve is similar to the torque versus slip curve of induction motor. So in induction motor, as we had only the rotating magnetic field, so there we obtain the torque. Now here we are getting a linear traveling magnetic field, so we will get all the force. So here we are plotting the curve force versus slip. You can see the value is increasing till it reaches the maximum value of 0.25. Then after that, the value decreases as force become inversely proportional to the slip. So this value has been calculated first by taking h by tau to be 0.0. Then the maximum value will be 1 by 4, and for the value of Reynolds number r equal to 1, the maximum value is obtained. And the 5 curves are being taken so that we can say that at the value r equal to 1, we get the maximum value for the force. And same goes for the levitation force. Here the levitation force has been calculated with by plotting the h by tau value to be 0.0, we get the maximum value of the force, that is 0.25 at r equal to infinity. So at this process is been again this process is again used or is again calculated by using 3-region model. So here if we consider the thickness of the rotor to be d, Then we get three region, like one region between the rotor surface and the stator surface. Then one is between the rotor, that is the thickness of the rotor, where we get region 2, and the region that is from this rotor surface till infinity. So here the same process goes on. The calculation of the flux density, then linear current density and forces are being done, and we obtain the final curve for the propulsion and levitation forces. So next slide. Okay, this is the propulsion versus levitation curve of the against the normalized speed is been plotted. So the same value is been obtained because the result obtained for the two region model is similar to that of the three region model, and this is because the rotor thickness is considered to be quite small than the classical depth of penetration. The depth of penetration is much more than the thickness of the rotor. So the same graph is been obtained, and this graph is plotted by taking the values of h by tau to be similarly same way. We can put the h by tau value to be 0 0.0 and plotting the maximum speed for the propulsion force and again for the levitation force. So the now my future scope. So since I have calculated the forces, the linear current density and fluxes in both the 2 and the 3 regions, but I have not considered the edge effect or N effect. So my next scope will be of calculating the forces with including the N effect or edge effects, and by improving this model, proposed model of SLIM by designing it with the FEM based analysis. The further slide deals with the advantages and disadvantages. So SLIM gives low maintenance, it requires low maintenance, low initial cost, and no overheating or rotation of parts are being avoided. So it gives a mechanical loss, a very low mechanical loss. But the disadvantage is that due to an effect or edge effect, it gives a very poor efficiency, then our power factor is very low, and since the air gap is much more than the induction motor, so it gives a large magnetizing current. So now the applications, linear motors are being used by subdividing it to be a smaller linear motor and larger. In smaller linear motor, it is being used for pumping of liquid materials, in airport baggage handling, or in accelerators and launchers. But for larger linear motors, it been used for transportation, for sliding doors closure in metros or in malls, and for material handling and storage purposes. So this is the conclusion part where I have given a brief discussion. Since I have done a detailed study of linear induction motor by calculating the magnetic fields and currents, and also the calculation of forces are been taking place here. With considering the thickness of the air gap to be very less, we obtain a better result for the propulsion force. And also by considering both the region, like for 2 and 3 region, we can get a better understanding of the propulsion and levitation forces. And this is the acknowledgement part, and this is the references, and thank you.
What are the things? Again, you can you tell us concisely that what kind of analysis you did?
So first means I have calculated the values for the field current, then flux density, and after that I calculate the forces that are being experienced. So first I took the problem to be as two region problem, like I told here that
That thing I got. That thing I got. You didn't mention any kind of
design.
parametric values like what on which values you have calculated everything. Did you
Sir,
mention that? No, no.
no sir.
Why? You should mention na, if you have calculated any for a single particular value, you should calculate everything and you can show those things, right?
Yes sir.
You didn't do that. It means
Sir, no. Sir,
okay.
I
Then
calculated the value
how
for the
those
first
graphs
one.
actually how those graphs we plotted
Sir, by
without
taking the values, yes sir.
okay. Tell.
Yes, sir. Sir, first taking the value to be h by tau. First taking that value to be as 0. Then I have
Okay.
plotted in the equation. Sir, one equation only I have given here. Sir, I have done the full means solving part.
Nandita,
Then,
Nandita, what that is asking is that now you told by taking that value, where is that value that sir is asking? You got my
sir,
point.
yes, sir.
Now, just now you told by taking that value, you done all those calculations. So sir is
Sir, by
asking,
taking,
what are
yes, sir.
where are those values? So where are those values? That's sir is
Sir,
asking.
yes, I have given in the slide, sir. In this slide.
Okay.
Where?
Which
So,
Sir, sir,
can you
next
show
slide.
us
Slide
next
number 20. So,
20?
yeah, yes, sir. So
Oh,
here
these
I
are the
have
values.
taken.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Here the value h by tau is first I have taken to be 0 0.0. Then I have plotted.
Okay.
Then I get further solving of the problem takes place, and where I have then I have get the value for the Reynolds number to be 1, and then the maximum value is taken to be as 0.25. So further solving of the problem is I have not included
So
here.
how can you tell us how the graphs have been plotted? Is how where you which software you plotted this?
Sir, I have calculated, sir.
No. These graphs somewhere you have plotted, na? So which software you used it?
Sir, in Maxwell.
In Maxwell, you plotted for different h by tau values.
Sir, no, first I have done means first I have solved the problems, and after
Hmm.
that, sir, that part, the stimulation part I have not done, sir, yet.
No. I'm not asking about simulation number. There are multiple graphs, na? In a single graph, there are multiple number of graphs for different h by tau values, right?
Yes, sir.
Then how I'm asking how you have plotted those things.
Nandita,
There
you
are so
just
many
see, you have
values are required na? To plot single graph. You require lots of values, है ना?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nandita,
Did
you
you
just see
plot
the.
it by yourself?
Oh,
Okay, sir. Okay, yes, sir. Hello, Manoj sir. Yes.
uh-huh. So, Nandita, you just see that in the first line you have written calculated and plotted, right? So Sir is
Yes, sir.
asking that by using what software you have plotted this value.
Sir, in Maxwell I have done.
You did it in Maxwell.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, if you are so confidently you are telling, then how I should not ask any further question. Okay. So what is the Reynolds number, Baba?
Sir, this is the R, which means while calculating the values in the first in the first part where I have calculated the boundary conditions. So in the first slide, like slide number. So wait. So this part, in the slide number 17, where I have calculated the boundary numbers, boundary
Mhm.
conditions, then I have obtained the values. Like here I have calculated the unknown variables like C1, C2, C3, C4. So for calculating that values, here I obtain one term like for that the term is to be as conductivity D S omega S mu naught by K, and this term is said to be as Reynolds number. So,
This term is said to be Reynolds number. What
yes,
is A?
sir.
What is A? What is that
Sir?
variable? A. What is the
Sir, it
variable?
is the vector potential.
Vector potential of what? Potential vector. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
in
yeah,
terms of
potential
Reynolds
vector.
number, how it is coming?
Sir?
In terms of Reynolds number, how vector potential is it's related? I'm not getting that thing actually.
Sir means while calculating the Reynolds number, we get SVS. So this is the normalized speed, which we
Okay.
consider as VRE. That is the
Mhm.
relative velocity of the traveling field with respect to the rotor. So this is the normalized speed. So by putting the graph, I have written here the normalized speed versus normalized propulsion force. So here I have given the value of R. Then after that I am plotting, sir.
Okay. So is there any term related to torque? No.
Sir, yes. Sir means in induction motor, we get a rotating magnetic field. Sir, for that, we
Oh,
obtain a torque.
acha. For here, torque is not.
Sir, yeah, it's traveling magnetic field.
Okay.
So here we
Fine.
propulsion force.
Good. Okay. Any other question?
Germany ma'am is not there. So Nandita,
Yes, sir.
I have a question. What is the basic difference between force and torque?
Sir, means the torque is the in which direction the force is acting, the perpendicular length which is taken. Sir, that is the force.
Just
It is the
simply
force of
say,
torque. No, what are you saying?
just say
Um,
what is force and what is torque. Just please be calm. Okay. अब आराम से फोर्स
okay,
क्या
sir.
है टॉर्क क्या है बताओ. What is force, what is torque?
मैथमेटिकल रिलेशन एक है उसके बीच, है ना? In between
No
torque and force, there is a
mathematics,
mathematical.
only force. What is force, what is torque? Okay.
Oh, yes, sir.
बोलो.
Uh, sir,
फोर्स
means
क्या है टॉर्क क्या है.
Torque is how torque is related to force, bro.
sir, hello.
Torque is related, how
Sorry,
torque is related to force.
is there any term torque? You have mentioned that no, it is linear induction motor. Force is that. Okay, force is that. In three-phase induction motor, torque is that. Okay. In here,
Yes, sir.
your force is that. Okay. So what is the difference between force and torque?
Sir, you can say like if in the direction of applying force, if we consider a specific distance from this if we consider a specific distance from the center of rotation, if we consider, then we obtain the torque, and the force is considered to be a vector which is applied to be in a straight line, in a straight direction to as the net means as a to
अच्छा,
obtain
वो
the force
force straight direction में है और torque
in a straight
rotational में.
line. Yeah, rotation direction, sir.
ओह अच्छा अच्छा. तो force का unit क्या है?
Sir, Newton.
अच्छा, torque का.
Newton meter.
अच्छा, अगर फोर्स का न्यूटन है इसमें तो ऐसा बोलते हो कि टॉर्क इज इक्वल टू फोर्स इनटू समथिंग.
Yeah, distance that travel means
अच्छा, वो
in
डिस्टेंस जो
specific
मीटर
distance.
है वो मीटर है तो वो मीटर का क्या है यूनिट क्या है. वो मीटर रेडियन में है या डिग्री में है.
So it is in radian.
भाई यू आर
No,
सेइंग
no, no,
दैट.
sir, in degree, sir, degree.
आर यू कंफर्म.
Yes, sir, it is in degree.
हैं
Which one is degree?
डिग्री हैं.
Sir, means, sir, the unit is known to be as Newton meter only, no?
I know that unit is Newton meter, but that meter is in radian or degree.
Sir, it is in radian. Radian, sir.
You are saying
Yes, sir, it is radian.
Degree.
force in rotational. So it should be in degree na.
Sir, no.
Okay, let it just okay. You
I have one more question, Nandita.
Yes, sir.
Can you differentiate between magnetic field density and magnetic field intensity? Magnetic
Magnetic.
field density and magnetic field intensity. What is density and what is intensity?
Sir, uh, sir, yeah, means
okay?
Hmm.
Just cool. Okay, धीरे से बोलो, आराम से बोलो. What is magnetic field intensity? What is magnetic field density? यहाँ पे तुम लोग flux density calculate किए हो ना?
हाँ sir.
Okay, magnetic flux density है ना? वो magnetic flux है ना?
हाँ sir, magnetic flux है.
हाँ. वो
Sir,
क्या है?
जब current pass
Magnetic
होता
field
है तब
intensity है.
हाँ sir.
बोलो.
Hmm.
बोलो.
बोल.
Sir, if a current is flowing through a coil, then we will obtain a magnetic field around that coil.
Yes.
S-
Then
Sir, yes. Then sir, that is the magnetic field which we obtain there.
Okay.
Then how density and intensity terms are coming?
Sir,
Is intensity or
After then
density?
how? Yeah. After then how you will get density and intensity? Coil में current flow कर रहे हैं, then magnetic field is coming. Okay, that's correct. Then after then how density and how intensity things are happening? Nandita,
Current.
sir,
are
sir,
you
you can
comfortable
say
with
that.
this question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, it is defined to be as the amount of magnetic field which is flowing through an area, and it is, sir, Um,
Okay. Carry on.
sir,
Okay. You just say unit of flux density and unit of flux intensity. What is the unity actually?
डेंसिटी का यूनिट क्या है, इंटेंसिटी का यूनिट क्या
sir, what?
है?
Unit.
डेंसिटी का यूनिट है,
Uh,
बी
Sir,
इज
feel,
डेंसिटी और
sir,
इंटेंसिटी,
80 per
बी
meter, sir.
बी
80
इज,
per
यस यस,
80 per meter या A by meter.
80 क्या है?
Sir, वो ampere turn है.
ओके,
Ampere turn per meter, sir.
बी क्या है? बी डेंसिटी है कि इंटेंसिटी है? बी
Sir, B, वो magnetic field है, sir. Sir, magnetic flux
वो
density
डेंसिटी
है
है कि
B.
नॉन इंटेंसिटी?
Sir,
अच्छा,
magnetic flux density है B and magnetic field intensity है H.
दैट थिंग आई एम आस्किंग ना,
हाँ,
अच्छा,
sir.
व्हाट इज द यूनिट ऑफ बी?
ओके। ओ और एक चीज बताओ, यहाँ पे फ्लक्स डेंसिटी कैलकुलेट कर रहे हो, ठीक है? हेलो।
हाँ, sir.
हाँ, फ्लक्स डेंसिटी कैलकुलेट कर रहे हो। Is it related indirectly or directly related to efficiency? Yes or no?
Sir, yes, sir.
Flux density is indirectly or directly is related connected to efficiency. Yes or no?
Uh, yes, sir. It is directly connected.
How?
Sir, first means after calculating this flux and current, then further calculation will be done for force. So if we calculate the force, sir,
How it is
sir, from
directly
that we can
connected
calculate the
to
power.
efficiency?
Hello,
Okay.
sir, we
Okay.
can calculate the power. Sir, from the power we can calculate the efficiency, sir. So it is directly connected.
Okay. Is related to loss. Flux density is related to loss.
Flux density. Yes.
Is related to losses.
Sir, yes.
How? How? In
Sir,
transformer, in basic magnetic circuit, in three-phase induction motor, in single-phase induction motor, everywhere you
yes,
read
sir.
it. Uh, which
Yes.
losses? Core loss, couple loss. फॉर्मूला याद नहीं है?
हाँ,
core loss,
sir.
हाँ, core loss क्या है? इसमें
सर
फ्लक्स
आपने क्या
डेंसिटी आता है
पूछा?
कि नहीं?
सर क्वेश्चन फिर से रिपीट कीजिए ना सर.
मैं बोला flux density is directly or indirectly related connected to losses or not? You are saying yes. Then how?
ओके सर.
Okay. In Reynolds number, okay, in connection to Reynolds number, okay. Reynolds
Yes,
number,
sir.
as I know, Reynolds number are using in
फ्लूइड
mechanical
डायनामिक्स,
system, fluid
फ्लूइड
dynamics.
डायनामिक्स,
So Reynolds number equal to rho Vd by mu. Rho is fluid density of fluid, V is velocity, D is diameter of pipe, and mu is dynamic viscosity fluid. So how is related to here? My question is how is related to in linear induction motor? Okay, can you say?
Sir,
नो,
You are calculating all the value, na? You have said, na? You have calculated all the value. So
yes, sir.
in the Maxwell software, where you go in Maxwell software, so you have to put the value, na? You have to put the Reynolds, calculate the Reynolds numbers. You know about it. Uh, how it is related? Okay, one hint I have given, that is density of fluid, that is flux density here. Okay, that's
Yes, sir.
okay.
Yes, sir.
Velocity of fluid, okay, flux is somehow it has some velocity. Okay, diameter of pipe, okay, it has solenoid. Okay, so dynamic viscosity of fluid. So if you relate it, na,
Yes, sir.
then now you
यस सर,
calculate.
यस सर,
So
ओके.
what is the basic difference between this force, propulsion force and levitation force?
Sir, propulsion force is to give the movement to the rotor. And sir, the levitation force, it acts so that it pushes the train for, so that to leviate the means the train or any object from this track above its track. So it acts along the y-axis.
Acha.
Okay. So here only in fluid dynamics also there are two type of force. Okay.
Yes.
In fluid dynamics also there inertia force and viscous force. For that in also in linear induction also two type of force. For that only Reynolds number is calculated.
Okay, sir.
For making them relativity, making them in equal format. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So you are taking the normalized speed. Huh? In
Yes, sir.
both cases, you are taking the normalized speed, na?
Yes, sir.
So that's why you are taking the Reynolds number. तुमने
Yes,
कुछ
sir.
नहीं किया है, सब पता चल जा रहा है. ये कॉपी पेस्ट क्या है? हैं?
सर मैंने किया है.
क्या किया है तूने?
सर वो
अच्छा
अरे
चलो
बिंदास बोल, टेंशन क्यों ले रही है?
Nandita, what sir is asking is that if you have done something in Maxwell, then where are the Maxwell datas or Maxwell graph?
but you are presented very well. I appreciate
You,
it.
you
Within
understand
30
my
minutes, before 30 minutes, you have presented it very well in a outstanding manner. But your work is not so much satisfied.
you understand my problem. You told that you have done in Maxwell. Okay, that is good. Then the document that you are giving, their Maxwell graph
Yes,
or Maxwell things are not there because the things that you are telling you got from Maxwell doesn't looks like that.
Good and talented guide should have learned so many things. Nilu have presented it very well. Nilu have done the work is very in very well manner. He showing the diligence in our work. Okay, okay.
okay
But
sir.
you are okay. Moreover, it is good. Okay.